なたのせいあなたのせい
I still don't like standing. Standing is weird. I'm not used to it. Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today's gonna be a big video. You guys know that when I'm not only standing up, but I'm wearing this shirt, we're gonna be talking about something pretty big. Today we are talking about used anime figures, where to get used anime figures, and how to get used anime figures. Holy shit, where do we even start on this one? Buying used anime figures might feel a little bit overwhelming at first. I know it was for me when I first got into the figure collecting scene, but I can assure you guys, it's not that hard. All these figures you see here, about half of them are going to be used figures that I've gotten over the years. If I can do it, any of you guys can do it. And I'm gonna show you guys not only where I get my used anime figures, but the practices I use to get those used anime figures, and some pretty good deals along the way as well, if you're careful. Anyone can go onto Amazon or onto Right Stuff or JList and buy a new anime figure. All you need is your mom's credit card and a couple weeks and it'll be there, brand spanking new. But when you're trying to get a good deal on an anime figure that you've been drooling over for the past 2 years on eBay, or you're meeting up with a local seller who's selling a whole bunch of anime figures behind the 7-Eleven, it's a little bit more difficult. But this video is going to be very similar to my where and how to buy new anime figures video, so if you guys haven't seen that already, go ahead and check it out. Before we jump in and start this video for reals, there is 2 things you guys need to remember before we go any further into this video. We are going to be dealing with used anime figures, and used means several different things. For the most part, a used anime figure is going to be a figure that's been bought already. It's not new anymore from a seller. It's been bought by someone like you or me, and they're trying to resell it to get some sort of money back. Used can also mean that it was used for a display in a store, or it was damaged during shipping and is now being sold as a used item. But I'm comfortable saying the majority of used figures out there have been already bought by a third party, such as you and I. Pretty much what I'm trying to get at is you guys need to ask yourselves at the very beginning, are you even comfortable dealing with used anime figures? I know I've been on Reddit enough times to maybe second guess myself on buying used anime figures on eBay from XX Anime Freak 69XX. But when you get an Orchid Seed 1/5 scale Supersonico for less than $100, I'm willing to take that risk. But that's something you guys need to ask yourselves as well, if you're even comfortable dealing with used anime figures. Oh my god. Huh, well I totally missed the pan on that one. Number 2, which actually probably should have been point number 1, but yeah. Point number 2 has to deal with PayPal. Anyone who's going to be using PayPal to send or receive money. If you are ever buying a figure, especially from a group or a local seller, and they ask you to use PayPal, make 100% sure you do not use friends and family on PayPal. PayPal friends and family pretty much means that you as the buyer are actually not even a buyer in this case, at least in PayPal's eyes. How PayPal sees it is you are just sending somebody money for free, when you're not expecting anything back from them. Do not use PayPal friends and family. Do not use PayPal friends and family. There's going to be a lot of pointing in this video, so do not use PayPal friends and family. If you are ever buying an anime figure from a seller and they ask you to use PayPal's friends and family because it's lower taxes or they can give you a deal, do not deal with them. Report them and then get away from them. Do not send them any money. They are bad. They're a bad egg. PayPal friends and family should only be used for the people that are actually in the freaking title. I don't even know if I would use it with those people. My dad was supposed to ship me out a Good Smile Racing Miku and pick up a gallon of milk 10 years ago, and I still haven't seen him. Alrighty, if you guys are confident that you are comfortable dealing with used anime figures, that you promise me you'll never use PayPal friends and family, we can go ahead and start the video. Enjoy. pillow of mine is becoming a Osu titty streamer. Pillows these days, am I right? Oh, I don't remember this one. Alrighty, so retailer number 1. Oh, you guys didn't need to see that. Retailer number 1 is going to be Solaris Japan, which has been a site that I have been repping for my whole YouTube career. I'm pretty much Solaris Japan's pimp at this point, except I buy from them, so would that make them my pimp? What does that make me then? One thing I really like about Solaris Japan is just their website. It's very simple, it's got a nice layout, and the price for shipping is readily available. They show it right next to the figure price itself. Now, is Solaris Japan always the best deal? Does it always have the best prices for used figures? No, it doesn't. But it consistently gives me some of the better deals I've had on used figures, of the dozen or so I've ordered from them. And even when I compare it with other sites that are more well known for their used figure deals, they're usually within 5% or so. So it's a very good tool to have. It's a very good website to know of, so you can compare costs and see if you really are getting the best deal out there. Because you'll be surprised. Another thing I really like about Solaris Japan is their customer service. And I know I've harped on this before on my Where to Buy New Figures video. I think I mentioned that. Who knows? Solaris Japan is very unique with their customer service. Usually when there's an issue with an anime figure order on other websites, it can take 3 or 4 days of back and forth emails to get that issue resolved. With Solaris, it takes an afternoon. They are literally that quick. At least in my experience, that's pretty darn cool, and hey, maybe that's worth spending a few extra bucks on a figure just to get that level of treatment. I don't know. You do you. One of the main things I actually use Solaris Japan for is when I'm buying figures or attempting to buy figures in the private seller market, where I'm dealing with other people such as myself, other collectors. Sometimes what they think is a good deal actually is the retail pricing of the figure new on Solaris or other websites. And I'll get into this later in the video, but if your figure is selling new or even used on a website for the same price that I can get it from you in a private sale, then that's not a good deal. Why would I buy a used anime figure from Kyle behind the AM/PM at 10:30 on a Friday night, when at my convenience I can just go on Solaris, spend the same exact price, and just have to wait a few extra days? With Solaris, I have a return policy, I have customer support, and I have the peace of mind of knowing it's going to be an authentic figure. But Solaris Japan, it's a great website. I am finally affiliated with them after all these videos. So if you guys need to pick up a figure, the link will be down in the description as well. YouTube don't pay that good, and that definitely doesn't help the figure budget. What you think YouTube pays. What YouTube actually pays. I think Bootleg Sonico finally died. Yeah. The only issues or complaints I have with Solaris, which really aren't that big of issues, number one, their search on their website is a little bit clunky. You gotta be really exact with what you're looking for, or it gets it confused. Number two, at least to my knowledge, there's no way for me to filter out the NSFW 18+ figures from the general figures, which isn't a big deal. I am a grown adult man, at least last time I checked, but it makes it a little bit difficult when I'm trying to browse Solaris out in public or when I'm streaming. One minute I'm looking at a cute Shiro figure from No Game No Life, and next thing I know I'm looking at just titty or dick or both in some cases, which I'm not really complaining actually. That's actually not a bad price. I might have to pick that up. But that's Solaris Japan. I've harped on this before. You guys know how much I like Solaris Japan. Let's move on to the next one. Ami Ami. Ami Ami. Good old Ami Ami. If you are a hardcore or even somewhat hardcore anime figure collector, you already know about Ami Ami. I don't need to be harping on this anymore. But for those out there that are new to the used anime figure collecting market, Ami Ami has a huge inventory of used anime figures. Ami Ami is definitely one of those core retailers that I use personally myself, not only because they usually have one of the better deals out there, but they also have such an inventory that it goes way back. It's not just going to be the newest figures. If there's an older figure that I'm looking for, good chance Ami Ami might have it. Ami Ami's website might look like it's a step back to about 2008, which might be one of the main complaints I have from the website. Sometimes it runs like it's from 2008 too. I don't know what the issue is here. But if I'm getting a good deal, I don't really care how it looks or runs. Just like Solaris, Ami Ami is always updating their used figure inventory. So if they don't have it available now, it's always worth coming back every few weeks to see if it's in stock. For most people, AmiAmi is going to have one major flaw, and that comes down to shipping. AmiAmi doesn't give you the shipping cost until you already purchase the item. To explain better, let me give an example. I just bought 2 used anime figures from AmiAmi a few weeks ago. I got Olga from, what's that? Curino? Review inbound for that, if I can, on YouTube. We'll see. Anyways, I got 2 used anime figures from AmiAmi, and when checking out with those figures, you select what type of shipping you're interested in. So I went ahead and confirmed that order. I actually haven't even paid for anything at this point. And about a day later, they got back to me. They had the shipping cost for all the different shipping options there were, from the fastest being DHL, the slowest being air package or airmail. I went ahead and selected whatever type of shipping I wanted, and then went ahead and paid at that time for the full order. That might sound really different, that might turn a few people off from buying from there, but as long as you budget and keep that in mind, you should be completely fine buying from AmiAmi. A lot of people will ask me what's better, Solaris or AmiAmi, and they kind of go back and forth, in my opinion, at least for the best deal. The latest order that I got, I purchased from AmiAmi and I saved about $80 compared to what it would be on Solaris. But in the past, I've had that be vice versa. I've saved more on Solaris than I have on AmiAmi. So what's the better deal? I don't know. It depends on the order itself. It depends what figures you are looking at specifically and the inventory at that time. Just look at them both. If you're ever ordering figures, compare cost, see what's cheaper. It's the same product at the end of the day. So one thing I forgot to mention for both Solaris and AmiAmi is they both have a grading system. Solaris, it's a star-based system for the condition of the figure itself and the box. AmiAmi has a actual grading system for the figure and the box. So that's one thing to keep in mind. If you are trying to get the figure in the best possible condition, always keep that in mind. The lower the condition, the lower the price point. Those are going to be the main 2 retailers that I personally use to get used anime figures. There's plenty of other retailers out there. There's Akiba Soul, there's Tokyo Otaku Mode, Playmora, I think Ninoma sells some used figures, and the list goes on and on. But like I said, to keep this video short and sweet and to the point, those are the 2 that I use to get my used anime figures. The next biggest question that I get asked repeatedly is, what are my thoughts on eBay? Why don't I get figures on eBay? Well, let me tell you, eBay's a freaking dumpster fire. eBay sucks. And it wasn't always like that. When I first got into figure collecting, eBay was actually a decent way to get a good price on a used anime figure. I got some pretty good deals on there. A lot of my Mikus were from eBay way back in the day. However, fast forward to present time, eBay has become just so oversaturated with fake figures, retailers selling figures for way more than they're worth, collectors selling used figures for way more than they're worth. So if I'm not getting a deal, then I'm not going to use it. Before making this video, I hadn't been on eBay in a while. So what I did was, for a week straight, I spent an hour or 2 a day on eBay trying to find a good deal, seeing if there was even a good deal on eBay anymore for a used anime figure. After searching all week, looking in the shadows and the deepest realms of eBay, seeing things that I didn't even know existed and wish I probably hadn't seen, guess how many good deals I found? 2. One of them I actually got, which maybe I'll do a figure review here. You guys let me know if you want to see it. That's right, all those hours, all that hard work, and I found 2 good priced used anime figures. The main issue for me with eBay is that it's become so oversaturated with fake anime figures that I can't use the same filters like I did back in the day to get those out of my search results. They just show up anyways. Doesn't matter if I say US seller only, used figure. And after a while, you get tired of looking at fake anime figures. Let me tell you. So those people that have been asking me, should I use eBay to get an anime figure? I definitely would look on Solaris first, look at AmiAmi, look at all those other anime figure sellers out there before relying on eBay. And eBay will kind of lead us into the next section of video, which is buying from groups. Facebook groups, forum groups, whatever it might be. There's really only 1 or 2 different forum groups I can recommend for buying used figures. Number 1 is going to be the forums over on My Figure Collection. They have a good system on dealing with used anime figures. Most of the sellers on there are going to be as hardcore of a collector as I am, or you might be. So typically you're going to be dealing with your own kind. It's there's some good deals on here to be had. The only other anime figure group I've ever really used has been on Facebook or on other social media platforms. The issue I have with those is typically they don't have the best deals. They suffer from the issue of, oh, I'm going to sell this anime figure that I've had on my shelf for 2 years. I wonder what it's worth. Oh, AmiAmi's selling it for $150. I guess I'll ask $150. That's not how selling used anime figures work in the private market. I've gotten a few good deals over the years being in these groups, but most of the time it's just for me to laugh at the different prices people ask for their anime figures. It's freaking ridiculous. Alrighty, back into your display. My little sidekick for this episode. You did good. Alright, you guys, that is going to do it for this video. I hope that you guys learned something. I know I did making it. If you guys do have any other questions, comments, concerns for me, you can always hit me up in the Discord or send me a message on Instagram and I'll try to help you out best I can. I don't know much, but if you do have a question about figures or display cases or where to buy, then I might be able to help. Thank you guys for the continuous support. We are so close to 10,000. Like I can taste it. It's right there. Hopefully we hit that soon after this upload, unless you guys all leave me for what I've done to the fake Kana, but yeah, it was for science. But that's all I have for this video, you guys. Thank you to everyone for your continuous support and all the kind messages I get. I appreciate all of you guys. I will see all of you guys in the next video. It will be a figure unboxing most likely. Thank you so much for coming by. Peace.